Hey guys, Poverty Point Customs here. Today what I'm going to do is an oil change on my '06 Smart Car CDI. It's got the 0.8 liter diesel. First things first, open up the rear hatch. So a few things that you're going to need. Mercedes calls for 0W40. It's European car formula oil. It's a Mobil 1 full synthetic. I'm using a Napa gold filter, model 7077. These are actually $20 and they're hard to find filters where I live for a smart car. And one word of advice, smart car recommends 0W40. I know a lot of people are putting 5W30 synthetic oil in it. And I know looking back at some of the old maintenance on this car here, it does show that some people were changing it with 5W30. However, I'm going to keep it with what's recommended, 0W40. Also, what you're going to need is a oil change bucket. My oil pan actually has a bolt in it, so I can actually unscrew it and drain it from the bottom of the oil pan rather than sucking it up, and I'll show you that in a second. And another thing is an adjustable wrench to take off your oil filter cap. I believe it's a 29mm. I don't have it, so I should be able to use this without any problem. So the next step, in order to get to your engine, you got to lift up the rear carpet. That's the top hatch to your motor, and you got to turn this counterclockwise. And you can see the Mercedes diesel motor there. And I'll get something to prop this up so I'm not stuck holding it. So I have my floor jack underneath. I can't actually get to my ramps, are buried in my barn. So I'm going to jack this up on the passenger side. Diesel oil, some dirty. What's in there? Pretty good. So I'm going to let that drain and clean the plug, put a new O-ring on it, and reinstall it. Again, sorry if you can see my breath, it's actually minus 15 out, but I have had the car out for about 2 hours today, so the oil is warm. So I should mention one thing, the tip of this oil drain plug is, right there, is actually magnetic. So make sure you clean that really well. Any fine metal filings in your oil usually gets caught by that plug there, so just make sure you clean it off really well. So I've loosened the oil filter cap. It was on super tight. Thank God I started going to the gym. And got the bucket underneath of that. You can see how dirty that old diesel oil is. Now don't forget, this here might only have 1,500 kilometers on it. Filter underneath. So I'm going to let that drain out, and then I'll clean inside here and install the new filter. So there's the new filter, and it can go in either way. And to install it, there's the inside. Just push, and you'll hear it like a little snap, and it's in there. And there's the old filter. Pretty gross looking. There's a little bit of debris on that, but that's from sitting in the top of the oil pan bucket. So the next step is to take your oil filter cap and screw it on. Now the big thing again when you're screwing this on, do not over tighten it. I believe this is a 29mm. Again, I didn't have one, so I just used my adjustable wrench. So I'm going to get that on snug, and then I'm going to tighten it down a little bit with my adjustable wrench. So the oil filters caps on nice and tight. The drain plugs on nice and tight. So the next step is to go up top. So I'm just adding it slowly, not to overfill the funnel. And again, I'm going to put in roughly 2.5 liters, and then I'll check it again. Alright, so I put roughly 2.5 liters in. So I cleaned the dipstick, and I take it out, and it should be right in the middle of the full line. Maybe hard to see in the video. Right now it's right about there, so it's about 1/3 of the way up the full line. So I'm going to start the car, let it run for probably 30 seconds, let the oil flow through the motor, as well as fill up the oil filter, and then I'll stop it and check it again. Alright, so I actually ended up adding about 0.3 liters more of oil to top up to the proper spot on the dipstick. The next step is to reset your service interval on your gauge cluster. So how you do that is turn your key on the on position. I'm going to actually have to do this off camera because I need 2 hands. Once I turn that on, you press the button on the left side of your gauge cluster till you see your service interval come up on your gauge. Once you see that, turn the ignition off. Within a few seconds, turn the ignition back on while you're holding that button, and that will reset your service interval, and then you turn the ignition back off again. So I'm going to give that a try and see if it works. Alright guys, so I got the oil changed. Reset the service light, went and filled it up full of fuel, and as you can see, I got the tow hook out. I was almost home, and I heard a squealing belt from the rear passenger side, and then it's almost like the brakes went on, so it's almost like the rear passenger side tire locked up. So I gotta look into that. Another little bug with a little smart car that I gotta figure out. Hopefully it's a belt, but the driver's side rear wheel is spinning. The the rear passenger side isn't turning at all. So that's the next project. Anyways guys, thanks for watching again. It's just a short video on how to do an oil change and take room with the old smart car. Thanks for watching.